afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Propagandacast Lehr with your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Instructions, Assault Tactics, and Halftracks. Off here to today's video, which is going to talk about the 250 Halftrack for the Wehrmacht, which has certainly come quite a bit away since initially introduced to the game, now actually having a machine gun on top, plus a handy little defensive mode ability, though we won't be talking much about that one in this video. But overall, how to get the most out of your 250 Halftrack, what works best with it, how to apply it the most effectively at what stages of the game. And we're off to the races here. Overall, the 250 Halftrack obviously is an open-topped Halftrack, which allows infantry inside to fire up from it. And so, of course, the big question there is always, what infantry works best? Well, basically infantry with a high rate of fire weapons, like, stormtroopers, panzer grenadiers, or in theory, even assault grenadiers. I haven't really seen a lot of it. Pioneers can also work with flamethrowers, but generally not the sort of, shall we say, strongest element there. Personally, of course, I prefer Stormtrooper with MP40, since up close they can do an awful lot of damage very quickly in that regard, work very well synergizing effectively with the strandy there of the 250 Halftrack. So you want to basically get up close and mean with it, do a lot of damage, and do it very fast, thusly overwhelming your opponent before they can sort of really react to what is going on. For example, as you can see here, allows me to quickly just hit a exposed support weapon or other units and quickly clear them out. In this regard, early on in the game, the 250 Halftrack can effectively serve as an assault vehicle, where you just quickly hit an opponent's exposed bits. Again, they build up a strong point around a machine gun, you quickly rush it, clear it out. Obviously, depending on the opponent, it may not be as easy as here. For example, the British obviously don't have a lot of snares in the infantry, so that makes it easier, though, as compared with the Americans, the Soviets, there might be some complications there, but even then you can say rush a machine gun rapidly with it, quickly clear out the center. That can usually be to the big advantage of you as the Wehrmacht player. But generally, Stormtroopers are the best, Panzer Grenadiers, let's say, the second, Assault Grenadiers third, then Pioneers for the flamethrower, and finally you sort of got stuff like Grenadiers with a light machine gun or some other upgrade. They're not nearly as effective, but they can work. But generally, the stronger an assault unit you have inside the Halftrack, the better. In this regard, again, I would recommend Stormtroopers, basically the best one, particularly with more veterans down the road. They become absolute monsters and can do some serious damage inside the 250 Halftrack. So that's sort of there. As the game progresses, you will want to sort of change how you use the 250 Halftrack. As earlier on, again, you might just go straight for the juggler, just jab them really hard and just hope to overwhelm them. But as the game progresses, your opponent's defenses shore up and they sort of get more and more heavier stuff. The role of the 250 Halftrack does change. You're using it more as a supporting element, either to reinforce your troops at the front line, which again, veterans one, of course, which is really potent and honestly an ability I think a lot of players overlook, giving you more frontline durability, which of course is good, allowing you to that way support assaults. You can also use defensive mode to, say, quickly lock down a flank against the opponent if you're suddenly get caught off guard, turn the Halftrack, pop into defensive mode, and that way slow down. Keep in mind, though, the suppression is on the lighter side, so it won't immediately slow down, though hopefully if you just don't get immediately overrun, it will kick in and begin suppressing your opponent's infantry. So that, for example, is also how, the Halftrack can be quite useful. And of course, with the Flamethrower Pioneer Squad, it's an improvised Flamethrower Halftrack, and you can quickly use it to clear an opponent from a building if you just don't have anything nearby. So that also gives the 250 Halftrack some added flexibility. But as the game go on, you use it just more as a harasser, skirmisher, looking for isolated units. Some opponents like to stick a machine gun just to defend a single point. That, for example, where the 250 Halftrack can quick rush in, kill the machine gun, then you grab it, then turn against your opponent. You can, for example, reinforce it right on the spot. So as the game changes, you also want to change how the 250 Halftrack is used. Again, from initially just, heavy cavalry charge sort of thing right into them, just go in there and slash away, to sort of more like careful skirmish, harasser unit to slash supporting element. So keeping certain elements going. In that regard, careful and good usage of the 250 Halftrack can be quite effective, can certainly win you quite a few games, as it gives you in a lot of cases a tactical advantage if you know how to understand the properties and the strength of the 250 Halftrack. Also worth keeping in mind, of course, it also protects the troops inside, though. Certain anti-tank grenades can damage the units inside, so that is also worth keeping in mind. In fact, you can risk losing entire units inside the Halftrack because, for whatever reasons, the anti-tank grenade does more damage to them than it does to the damn Halftrack. That's always depressing in my perspective. But as you can see there, for example, your opponent quickly sort of extends. You quickly then go for it with, say, a Stormtrooper squad. You can see there, the Stormtroopers inside the Halftrack do a lot of damage very quickly, and again, they take no damage either. So it also effective that way allows you to just quickly gain an upper hand in a lot of 1 versus 1 engagements while suffering minor casualties. Of course, as the game progresses, your opponent will want to destroy the 250 Halftrack, as it is obviously a massive pain in their posterior. And obviously, versus the British, they will likely send in the AAC Mark III. So obviously, that's where you also keep something in mind, about proper support and all that down the road. I failed to do that here, and obviously I'm going to get punished losing my precious 250 Halftrack. Do you want to go for more 250 half-track after a certain point, say if you lost the first one? That can depend on the situation on the battlefield. Again, if your opponent loves to extend support weapons, leave a flank very open, which you might want to rush into with stormtroopers, you can consider going for another 250 half-track or mechanized assault, whatever you call in there with mechanized or mechanized assault. But in other circumstances, you may decide wisely that it is not worth it. But it's sort of going to come down to like, more like, case by case basis, like will it work? And if it does, why will it work? I mean, if you can sort of answer that, well, this is going to work because so and so. Like, for example, you rush it in, quickly hit my opponent's support weapons, which again is all you can do. For example, during a major assault, they sort of focus on your tanks and whatnot, and then you suddenly swoop in the 250 half-track to hit their support weapons, like their anti-tank guns. Then, for example, you can also see some usage there. So those are some of the things to keep in mind while using the 250 half-track. That way, again, gaining more usage out of it. But I think that overall sort of shows covers the most effective units to pop into the 250 half-track, the stages of like fighting with it, and overall other side things you can do with it. So hopefully this has educated you more on the strengths and usefulness of the 250 half-track with the Wehrmacht. In this case, again, part of German infantry, though you can also get as part of the mechanized assault group or the mechanized grenadier group, which are part of mechanized and mechanized assault. You obviously have to pay more up front, but of course you just start with a unit inside of it, which of course is also pretty handy. So there's effectively 3 doctrines with it, and overall pretty solid. Again, I prefer German infantry. So hopefully this video has helped you. Hopefully this has helped you gain a great understanding of the 250 half-track. And if it has, feel free to subscribe, like, share, comment, and press that bell button if you do. And if you like what I do and wish to support the propaganda effort, feel free to donate or pledge on Patreon. Every donation, every pledge allows me to keep doing this day after day. So do consider. This is Imperial Instinct. Cheers. Thank you all. Your wonderful audience, and see you all another time. Bye.